Accelerate Jackson County, Keith Gillenwater. Hi, Keith.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. How about you?
I mean, I just found out I'm getting a free shake, and
Yeah.
I'm going to try to negotiate one of those cheese curd burgers as well. So, I mean, my day is already looking up.
I'll tell you, you're going to get them both. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And you also should be celebrating. You're on the cover of Jackson Magazine, just out. It's the annual GM membership directory, Accelerating to Excellence. That's a cool picture. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Neat article about Keith. How long has it been now that you've been in Jackson County?
So I think it's been about 18 months now, a little over about a year and a half.
How's it going?
Honestly, it's been great. I couldn't have asked for a better transition, and I've got a great board, and we've got a great community who has embraced some of these changes that we're trying to make, and maybe just doing things a little bit differently than we had previous. So honestly, it's great. I mean, I think there is so much opportunity here in Jackson County for us to just really be that community that we want to be the organization for the community that we want to be as well. So.
And really, it's got to be community driven. After you see what happened last week in Lansing with the governor and the legislature saying, you know what, the attraction dollars, it's just not something we're going to be able to do anymore. We're really going to be depending on boots on the ground, people in the local communities to do the work of economic development.
Absolutely. I mean, this isn't the first time that the state or the legislature have changed focuses on what they want to do, right? We will make do with the tools that are given us, that are provided to the MEDC for us to be able to work through, right? It doesn't change our efforts on the ground. It doesn't change our efforts locally here in Jackson County, right? We're always a local business first focus anyways, in our industry, what we call business retention and expansion, working with those companies who have already invested here in the community to try to help them grow and expand. I mean, we will always have a business attraction focus as well, and whatever tools that the state chooses to provide for us to be able to do our job, we'll use what tools are there.
Well, it's the middle of your capital campaign. You need investors to fund the economic development efforts, and you're asking the community, and I think you're looking for people that maybe haven't been part of this in the past.
Absolutely. So in our 2025 budget, around 84% of our budget comes from the private sector. So we are very heavily funded on the private sector side, and so we have a cool program of work that we want to roll out for 2026 for the next 5 years, just taking us to that next level, and it requires funding to be able to do that. I mean, I will say it's not always the part of the job everybody looks forward to, going out and asking people for money, but what I will say, it's critically important for our organization, and if we want to do those cool things, it takes some money to do that.
Well, a few moments ago, we were talking about some of the big wins of Accelerate Jackson County. Anything new? Is there something you're working on now? Any breaking news today?
I'm sorry, I don't have any breaking news for you right now. But we do have, it's funny because politics, at the national level at the beginning of the year, I think uncertainty on some of what tariffs were going to do to things and what effect that was going to have on businesses and that kind of thing. We saw a little bit of a slowdown on some of the deal flow and some of the leads that we were getting, but what we have saw here in the last 3 months or so is the number of project leads we're seeing, the number and getting a second look after we submit a building or a park or something like that for it. And so we're starting to see a little bit of that, which is great. Above and beyond that, we've got a number of other initiatives underway right now. Most recently, we just signed a contract with a site selection firm to help us find what those next in business parks, industrial sites, tech park sites should be in Jackson County. So we're pretty excited about that. We have a lot of land that's listed in our sites and buildings database that we can submit for projects, but when you get out there and actually look at it and you see that there's a wetland, which I'm sure I'm not telling you anything when I tell you that there's a lot of low wetlands in southern Michigan. And so trying to help us determine like what are those next 10 sites that we should be looking at that may be the low-hanging fruit, or it may be the 10 years down the road, but this is something that should be on our radar. So,
But you do have a park. You do have Technology Park North,
Yep.
which has a lot of room. So I know that we've got a couple of tenants, maybe more. What kind of interest are you getting on JTPN?
yeah, I mean, it's by far the site that we submit the most often, right? Because it is shovel ready, and companies are risk averse when it comes to buying a piece of ground. If you can buy a piece of ground that you know someone has already done all of the due diligence on, and you know what the utility capacity is that can serve it, and everything's already there, that becomes a much more attractive piece of ground. And so JTPN, we've had a lot of interest in it. We've obviously already sold the first 25 or so acres out of that park. And we submitted a lot, and we've got a couple of projects there that are looking at it right now. And so for us, long term though, we can't have all of our eggs in that basket, right? We have to have other opportunities, you know, somebody that may want a bigger site or a smaller site, or for whatever reason that location won't work for them. We got to have a lot of different options to offer to people.
For years, the Enterprise Group, the predecessor to Accelerate Jackson County, was really frustrated with a lack of land. And while you say, yeah, there's a lot of land, maybe it's wetlands, but for the most part, available land wasn't shovel ready. It didn't have utilities. Right. But are you, in determining the next several business or industrial sites, trying to get that to the point of shovel ready?
Absolutely. I mean, so what our hope is that we can identify, okay, here's your top 10 sites you should look at, and then take that low-hanging fruit out of that, and then figure out what those next steps are. We actually just did that on some land. There's been some land for sale, or listed for sale, out behind Mackey I guess it's Sandstone Township. Part of it's the Village of Parma, because part of the land behind Mackey is owned by the Parma LDFA, and so that we serve as under contract as staff for the Parma LDFA. So we actually just did a bunch of due diligence out there on that site, because there's roughly 400 acres available back there between Mr. Bridges' property and the LDFA owned land, just so we can take it from, hey, we know there's 400 acres here and we have some utilities up by Mackey. Well, what are those other steps? You know, a wetland delineation, a phase 1 environmental, some soil borings, an ALTA survey, just doing all of that stuff so you can, again, take away risk from who you're trying to sell it to.
For many years, the city of Jackson had a seat at the table at Accelerate Jackson, but didn't make financial investment. I understand that there's some change with that partnership.
Yeah, we're very excited about it. You know, I think it's been 15 years or so since we have officially done economic development for the city of Jackson, and was pleased to have a contract approved by the city council effective September 1st. And so we are now serving as the economic development arm of all of Jackson County and all of the communities in Jackson County. And it's something I could not be more happy about.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on that, and continued good luck with the role and the capital campaign that's going on right now.
Yep.
Thanks for coming down.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Good to see Keith Gillenwater, President and CEO of Accelerate Jackson County. Our next guest